everyone. How are you doing today? You are welcome to day 15 of Good Success Summer Tech Skill Academy, the last day of week 3 of Good Success Summer Tech Skill Academy 2026. So this week we discuss MS Word and MS Excel or Google Sheets. So that's exactly what we discuss. And the first day we talk about the interface of MS Word. And the second day we talk about the headers, the footer, and so on and so forth, and formatting text in MS Word. And the three, the MS Excel, the interface, or the Google Sheets, and for the four, we talk about the formula, the charts, and and so on and so forth. So today now is the capstone, that is, which is based on the monthly budget tracker. So using Excel to create a monthly budget tracker page. That is what we want to do today. So today, as usual, the last day of the week is not something much. It's just a recap of what we have done so far in the week. So the objective is to be able to build a complete functional monthly budget spreadsheet that applies all formula that we have learned in this week with real life Nigerian financial context. So we will see at the end of the lesson how this can be achieved. So first and foremost, let's talk quickly about financial literacy. Financial literacy, a budget is written plan. Yes, that is, or why budget matters. So that is a financial literacy, so to say. So budgeting, or is a financial literacy, and why it matters. Or let me say, having a budget or a budget tracker is being financially literate. And what's the budget? It's a written plan for how money will be earned and spent over a specific period of time. Even a country as a whole, Nigeria now, this is month of August, and I know in the ministry, department and agencies, so work is going on the how to plan 2027 budget, and that's how it should be for individual as well. So budgeting is one of the most important life skill a person can have, and yet it is rarely taught in our schools in Nigeria today. So research has consistently shown that people who budget have less debt, more savings, and lower financial stress than those who do not do. See, some people will say maybe the world is some powers are behind them, they are behind their finance. There's not any power behind it. Most cases is because of the lack of budgeting, lack of financial literacy that leads to that, because some don't track how they spend. At the end of the day, they spend more than what they earn, and they end up borrowing, piling up debt. So as a student, even if you have not heard of it, as from now on, get to be part of your plan, be financially literate. Have a budget of your expected income, the actual one to be spent, and you must have a saving. If you don't have a savings, then you definitely have a financial stress. It's so sure at the end of the day. So let's move on. Now, in Nigeria today is a common pattern that is money arrive, salary, allowances, business income, money is spent without any plan. So as it comes, it goes out. Some people, when they have money like this, it's like they should spend it without having any plan. Yes, money is to be spent, but spend it wisely. And if you don't have anything to use it for, go and save it. Save your money. There are many ways you can save your money in your savings account, in a mutual fund, treasury bill. So many ways you can invest it in goods and in gold, so to say, that will fetch you money at the end of the day. So money runs out before the end of the month, and borrowing begins. So a simple budget tracker in Excel breaks this cycle by making spending visible and intentional. Some they spend a lot of money on airtime or data without any reasonable return for it. So if you have a tracker, once you know how much you spend on airtime or data, then you know how to reduce it. If it's bringing money for you, fine. But if not, then you have to reduce or eradicate if possible, so that you can have more savings. So now let me look at the analogy. Let's look at the analogy. Imagine you have a big bucket of water. That is your income, and a lot of holes is in it. That's your expenses. So the expenses expenditure create holes into your what, into your income. So without a budget, you may not know where the water is leaking. So that is, if you are not if you are mindless, if you are not mindful of it, you don't know that. Oh, you only know that the water is leaking from the bucket, but the actual place, like the example I gave the other time, if you might be spending more on data or airtime, then you check it. That's how some people, normal airtime you don't see on their phone. Everything is on WhatsApp. They make calls on WhatsApp. That's it. So they have said that, oh, don't call me on normal call. Call me on WhatsApp, because all they will be spending money on data, not on both. But if you are in business world, you have to what, to do both too. That's the truth. So you can see every hole, decide which one to plug, and make sure you always have water left at the end of the month. That is saving. So if you have a budget tracker, you will know where you are spending more and how to block it or reduce it, so that those money that are going there can go for savings, and at the end of the day you have savings in your account. Now let's talk about key financial concepts now. The income, that is what comes in for you. No, for students now, we have the pocket money, the gift earning from small job. For adults, salary, that is business profit. And for adults you have salary as income, business profit, rental income for those that have a property that they rent out, investment return on savings, on the treasury bill, on a mutual fund, and so on and so forth. Then expenses, that expenditure, that's all money that goes out. What goes out? That is fixed expenses, some every month, like school fees, rent, versus the variable expenses that charges change monthly. That is variable, the one that change monthly, like what to spend on food, on transport, on airtime, on data, and on some emergency. Some exigencies that don't plan for. Somebody might just call you, I need urgent 2K, and so on and so forth. So those are your expenditure, what you spend out, and the balance. So the income minus total expenses is your balance. So that is it could be positive if you have savings, and negative if you overspend, which is deficit, and you have borrow, so you borrow. So yeah, your balance could be deficit, could be negative or positive. So if it is positive, then you have savings, which means you still have something to fall back to. And if it's negative, it means you have overspent what you earn. So you have to check it. Then savings, so that is the portion of income deliberately saved aside and not spent. So financial advisor recommends savings of minimum of 20 to 10 to 20% of whatever you earn. So in how small it may be, make sure you save. Make sure you save. It's what, it's like when you get water in the rainy days, or when there is light, you on your what's it called, your pumping machine, and pump water into your reservoir. That's the savings. So but if you don't do it, once the light, you took the light away, you have to find a way to get water, or go and get from other, or from your neighbor. So that's not good enough. Learn how to save. Then the variance, that's difference between the plan spending and the actual spending. Actually, you might plan to spend a particular amount, and at the end of the day you overspend. It's possible. So that this help identify where you overspend, and you know the cost of overspending. If it is, what is not what you can cope. There are some spending that you may not plan for it, but it's not going to be coming every now and then, maybe once in a blue moon, so, or once in a while. So that's that. Now let's look at the budget tracker, how it is on the Excel sheets now. So on the Excel structure, so you can see the for income and expenditure. Yes, for income and expenses. So the first one is the income, where we have okay, let's see. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, better here. Yes, you can see it better here. Okay, let's see. You can see better here. Now you can see that for the income column, we have the allowance, that is category. We have the plan and the actual. One thing is for you to plan one thing, another thing is not to have it as you plan, but at times you might have it as you plan. So for students, let's say, just it's an example anyway. And there is something I want to point out to in the tracker itself, not even the figure, but at the end of the day, you see what I want to point out to you. So now, allowance, that's 5,000. Yes, the actual and the plan and the actual, they are the same. And for the gift, So you thought, oh, you have a gift of 2,000, eventually got to 3,000. And for others now, you thought from other sources you have, no, you don't have, you thought, you think you are not going to have anything, but eventually you have 1,005. So the total plan is a 7,000, and what you actually got is a 9,005. That's a plus anyway. Now, let's look at the spending now. You have for the expenses now, plan on transport is 1,000, on food and snacks 1,500, airtime is 1,000, stationery 500, and savings is 1,000. And at the end of the day, for your transport, you spend 2,500, and for your food, you spend 1,000 instead of 1,500. Airtime, you spend 800 instead of 1,000, and for stationery 600 instead of what? Instead of 500, and for savings, you actually save 1,000, which is very good. Now, let's look at the total. Now, the total plan expenses, no, total plan income is 7,000, and the actual one was 9,500. So, and for the expenses now, you actually plan to spend 5,000, but you end up spending 5,900 naira. Now, let's look at the difference now. The difference between what you actually plan and what you actually spend is 2,000. That is 7,000 minus 5,000, which is, you can see that one. That's a okay. You can see the formula bar. Okay, where we was added. So then you know how to enter formula for that. So to say, and the actual one now, your actual income was 9,500, and what you actually spend was 5,009. So you have savings there, no overspend. Now, what I want to bring out, you can see the red arrow. It pointed to the sum of plan and the sum of sum of plan, some plan, and what the balance down there. The balance down there. Now, let me go back to the previous one. You can see there here now. The balance here is what is 2,000. Here is 2,000. Yes, okay. So actually start at 2,000 here. Okay, let's go to the next slide now. So the next slide now, you can see. So yes, now the where zero was written now, you can see 1,000. There it has been changed. So immediately I enter 1,000. The total income, no, the total planned income changed to 8,000. It's added automatically. So I've entered the formula in such a way that it's what it will sum it from C4 to C13. So anything you enter in between that range will be added automatically. So you don't need to be creating more space. So just create enough space for that month. Then as you are entering the data, the figure, it will be added automatically because the formula has been formatted to do that. So the formula has been formatted to do that. Now, then likewise, the balance down from 2,000, it has changed to 3,000 naira. So that is how that one work. Now, some question that you need to ask yourself is this. That is your balance positive or negative? If it's negative, which expenses can you reduce? That is, if you do your own, which one can you reduce? Then where did plan versus actual differ most? That is, what's the difference? Then you can see it from from that table where it differs most. At least from the table you can see it differs from the other now, yes, and for the spending now it differs from stationary, airtime, yes, the reduction there, and what again, and transport, yes, and transport. So that's where we have the difference. So you can easily track that when you have a budget tracker at a glance. You can quickly see that. Then how much did you save, and what enough? Is that enough? So what are you saving towards? So all those questions you ask when you have a budget tracker. So you can help somebody to do that as well. And once you know how to use Excel, and it could be used on your phone or any on the laptop. So if you cut your airtime expenses by half, how much more could you save? I talk much about that airtime and data. So many people will spend most of their money on that. So that is that for this week. And your assignment has been posted. Make sure you do it. Do your assignment, please. Do your assignment and submit it via the Google form. And if you miss any assignments or any exercise, you not collect your certificate. So like I usually say that this video will be on the YouTube. Please watch it, subscribe to that page, like and comment. That is very important. So like and comment. Thank you. See you next week for the final lap of this Summer Tech Seal Academy. Once again, thank you.